ready for your close-up?
Sure, never. I like them far away.
Before you start, you sing? What do you sing?
This.
They tell you what to say.
There are smiles that make us happy.
There are smiles that make us happy. There are smiles that make us blue. There are smiles that steal away the teardrops as the sun beams steal away the dew. There are smiles that have a tender meaning that the eyes of love alone may see, and the smiles that fill my life with sunshine are the smiles you give to me. All right. I want to say good morning. Oh, it's afternoon. It's afternoon. Okay. The day is flying, but it's nice that you all showed up. And we have visitors with us today. Does everybody know why they're here? Yeah, that's right. But can you tell us why you're here?
Me?
Yes.
I'm taping this to commemorate it and to hopefully turn it into a documentary about your program.
Oh, I think that's terrific, and we appreciate your doing this.
And I thank this man right here for telling me. This is Dave.
Hi, Dave.
What channel can we expect it on?
Well, that's an excellent question. I don't know. I just got this camera. I just got a camera and I wanted to try it out. And
Oh boy.
so
They sent the probe.
One more thing.
That's a good reason.
Sure.
The lady at the podium is named Bill Riley.
Okay.
Don't you come home, Bill Riley thing?
Bill Bailey.
I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving.
Ladies first.
Saul decided to go to New York to visit his grandmother for Hanukkah. When he arrived in the city, he checked into his hotel and called her to get directions. She told him how to get to her building and then said, "You come to the front door of the apartment complex. I'm in apartment 14B. There is a big panel in the vestibule, and with your elbow push the button 14B. I'll buzz you in. Come inside and push the button for the elevator with your elbow. Once inside, hit 14 with your elbow." He said, "What is this? Hitting everything with my elbow. Is there something wrong with the building?" Or he couldn't understand. Anyway, she answered, "Are you coming empty-handed?"
A man was a compulsive gambler. No matter what he bet on, he was a loser. It could be a sure thing. If he bet on it, out the window. But one day, he's so depressed about his gambling losses, he doesn't feel well. He goes to his doctor for an exam. Doctor gives him a thorough physical, and he says to him, "I've never run across this abnormality before." "What? What's wrong with me?" He says, "You have 3 testicles." He says, "What?" He says, "You have 3 testicles." Right away, the gambling instinct takes over. He runs back to the bar where he hangs out and does his betting. Before he goes in there, he stops at the bank, gets a couple of grand out of the bank, runs to the bartender, and says to him, "Take a piece of my action. I got 2 grand. Give me 2 grand on yours. This is a sure thing you can't miss." So the bartender says, "Okay." He holds up $4,000 to the crowd in the bar, and he says, I have $4,000 here that says that between me and the bartender, we have 5 testicles. And one guy says, I'll take 200, I'll take 100, and they cover the 4,000. And the bartender grabs him by the collar, pulls him across the bar and says, look, you bum, you better have 4 because I only have 1.
Tomorrow we're leaving for Florida, so we'll see you guys till May. And I have to tell you, second reason is I have to tell you my annual Christmas joke, which if I keep telling, I'll get a laugh sometime. Okay? It's a story about the Christmas parrot. Everybody who remembers the story about the Christmas parrot, raise their hand. Okay, you can go out and have a smoke or something. Okay.
I don't smoke.
No, we don't? All right. Guy goes to his wife and says, what do you want for Christmas? And she says, you know, I've always wanted a parrot. And he says, okay, I'll look into it. Goes to a pet store, sees this kind of red and green bird sitting on a roost, walks over, sees a sign that says, my name is Chet. So he says, hello, Chet. And the parrot goes, hello, hello. And he says, look at that, the parrot talks and everything. So he says, okay. Turns to the owner of the store and says, how much is this bird? And he says, it's $800. He says, $800 for this scrawny bird? He says, wait a minute, this is a very talented parrot. He says, what do you mean? He says, well, let me show you. Takes a cigarette lighter, lights it by the left talon of the bird, and the bird starts to sing, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. And he says, not bad, but $800. He says, hold it. Takes the cigarette lighter, lights it on the right talon, and this time the bird sings, jingle bells, jingle all the way. And he says, not bad. He says, I'll tell you what. You throw in the stand, the cage, the sign that says my name is Chet, the whole business, and I'll pay you the $800. He says, okay, it's a deal. Goes home, puts it in the living room, puts the cage up, puts the sign up. All set. Wife comes in and says, you got a parrot. Look at that. Walks over, reads the sign, says, my name is Chet. Says, hello, Chet. And the parrot goes, hello, hello. And she says, the parrot talks, that's wonderful. What did you pay for this thing? And he says, I paid $800. He says, you paid $800 for this scrawny bird? What's the matter with you? He says, wait a minute, this is a very talented parrot. Let me show you. Takes a cigarette lighter, puts it by the left talon of the bird, and the bird sings, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. And she said, not bad, but $800. He says, hold it. Takes it, lights by the right talon. This time the bird sings, jingle bells, jingle all the way. And she said, pretty good. She said, what happens if you put it in the middle? I said, I haven't tried that. Let's try it. Lights the cigarette lighter right underneath this bird, and the bird sings, chestnuts roasting on an open fire. My annual Christmas show. Thank you. Have a good time.
Oh, God. You saw that one coming. You've heard it before.